I want to talk a little bit about being the parent of an adult disabled child. Now, for those of you who don't know my family, my own son, my oldest child, Alvin, is an adult disabled child. To begin with, he was born 3.5 months premature. Um, Alvin is considered a miracle. At the time that he was born, they had technology on children that were premature, but not anywhere near like what they have now. So the odds of a child like Alvin having made it was a miracle to begin with. Then you have the battles of a child who has disabilities and who's as premature as Alvin was to overcome. To begin with, they don't start out life normally. They're most premature children are put into a incubator. The majority of them, depending on how premature they are, they get oxygen feeding tubes and all this other medical equipment that measures every little detail. For a parent, that alone is devastating to see because already you feel like a failure because your child was 3.5 months premature. You did not make it to full term. So, looking at that and not coming into motherhood or fatherhood as expected carries its own issues. For me, I just felt like a failure because my kid, here's my baby, and I couldn't make it to him being full term. After overcoming that and seeing that there are many gifts to children who are actually born this way, really, really gave me what I needed to help both me and my son. Just because he was premature doesn't mean that he was any less or more than anybody else. And I always taught him that. I changed how I approach children with disabilities. I want people to keep in mind that I also grew up with a brother who was learning disabled, Steve. So I already had a little bit of experience when it came to my son. But for those of you who are mothers like me, I don't care what age a child is or whether or not they have a disability. You're a mother for life. And you really want to take care of your kids. Sometimes those who don't even have disabilities, their mothers are like, ay, 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 because they just don't want to let go. We've come to a place in Alvin's life where it's time for him to live on his own. We were starting to reach this goal when they had the shutdown. Excuse me. So, because of the situation and us being put out of my home, my trailer, I didn't own the property, but I owned the trailer wrongfully, you still have to progress in your goals. So what we decided to do, since we were at a campsite, was, work towards Alvin living on his own. Networking, resourcing, learning to ask for help for things he doesn't know about, and learning new things in the process. This alone is an achievement, especially after everything that's happened to us, for Alvin to partake. For him to reach out is it's an accomplishment. People don't understand, especially after what we've been through. We've been put out everywhere. People have attitudes towards us. If people have no idea. Anyway, after we come to see that the neighborhood that we live in and the community, the little community here is awesome. We love everybody here. It kind of helped Alvin to kind of start to come out of his shell a little bit, which I'm so grateful for. But we have to progress forward. So that's what we're working on now. I would love to hear more parents of disabled kids, especially those who are adult disabled kids, talk about the struggles that we go through. And it's something you're going to hear me talk more about. I am also an advocate for those who are disabled and who need help using the Disability Rights Act, which basically means that anywhere there's the ability to accommodate somebody who's disabled, those who are being requested within reason are supposed to attempt to accommodate, specifically within the court system and within the Department of Health and Human Services system, rather than pick with them. We've had a lot of problems with some DHS people who, in Michigan, like to target disabled people. But we'll get more into that as as I progress and expand on this topic. I just wanted to give a heads up that this is something that I'm going to start focusing a little bit more on, specifically because it's an area that's very needed in change and improvement within our system. God bless America. Have a blessed day.